The black and white one on top is Lieutenant, the orange white one is Izzy, and the gray and white one is Fiona. That's Choctaw. And this is Maggie. Welcome back to Korean Hearth, everybody, for another bullet journal setup. And as you can tell, I have finally figured out how to do a voiceover of some kind. So I do have the contrast turned up a little bit in terms of the color, and that's just so hopefully you guys can see a lot of the pale yellows that are in my color palette. So this is just the monthly spreads that you guys are going to be seeing set up, because my dailies, I had set them up previously because they take so long to do. I just did not want to film it. So this is all just real time getting my monthly spreads set up. As you can see, I've got my yellows right there ready to go. Now I didn't end up using my Crayola Super Tips in this setup, and that is it is slightly annoying. Not like super annoying, but it is slightly annoying. I just completely forgot to grab them. Now as you can see here, I've already got the future log set up in this particular journal, and I have a master appointment list, because I expect to end up fitting about 4 or 5 months into this 192-page journal, and I've already got the April calendar set up. I had it set up a while ago, mostly because I'm moving into a brand new journal, and I have I'm working in a notebook I made for March. Just sitting here sorting through, trying to grab everything that I need for this particular page. And as you can see, it took me a little while to find it. I have started really appreciating giving myself the space to already have things like my headers done. And in this instance, you can see that I have definitely already had them done. Sorry, I was, as I'm recording this, I'm actually recording myself normally in a video clip, but Clipchamp lets me rip the audio off of the video clip, which means I can stick this audio onto what you're watching right now and delete the other video. I'm just trying to see. Okay, you might be able to see it better there. But yeah, I'm messing with my settings right now as I'm filling out my meal planning page, which, as you can see, is very simple. Okay, we're gonna go with a slightly higher saturation than that. We'll do that. No, we don't want to do that with the exposure. Okay, there we go. All right, so okay, there we go. That might work out better. I'll know in the future, but at least with this particular saturation of color and whatnot, you guys can see the pen. And I am not going to pre-sketch my spreads next month for May, because as you'll see many times throughout this video, I do the eraser grabs the page and does a crinkly with it, and it's just like, no, please don't do that. We've got the womps back again. Doggone it. I honestly don't know why my settings do that. I have looked, and on an Android Samsung phone, I don't have the ability to tell it to stop that. I've dug through every single layer of settings, and it's a little frustrating. And here you see I turn on my overhead light just to get a little bit more contrast. Now, for this particular one, I was filming at my desk in my studio you can see what was going on with the clouds outside. I think from now on, I'm just going to start trying to film everything bullet journal setup wise in my dining room, where I've got a lot more ambient light and I can control the lighting a lot better. I can also hopefully film in the evening if I have to, because it's a better overhead light in there. This particular sticker pack that I just pulled this particular label off of, they're a part of a very simple, very basic sticker pack that you can get from Stationery Pal. You can find them, I think, sometimes on Obujo. I grabbed this particular one in a 4-pack off of Amazon. They all have the same source, so it really doesn't matter too much other than seller loyalty as to where you get them from. As you can see here, I'm looking through these stickers that I had gotten at Walmart a couple years ago. A lot of times the Pin Plus Gear packs, they'll have one that is set up for school, and then you'll have one that is more set up more for like an adult who likes a little bit of pretty for their planning. Sometimes the packs, if you look at them, do feel a little bit more middle school than they do anything else. So I did not realize that I was so far out of frame. Sorry, guys. I'm trying a new angle on my filming setup, and that's basically my phone on its tripod in between me where I'm sitting and the desk. So May's setup, we're going to be someplace else. Someplace else for filming. And if the idea that I have for in the dining room works out, I won't have to worry so much about being out of frame anymore. Look at the camera. There you go. Now for the weather checker, this is an essential spread due to how it relates to the homestead and the things that we track here. If this is your first time joining us for a bullet journal setup video, I am a homesteader. I live in the high Sonoran Desert. I live in Cochise County, Arizona. My weather is interesting. That's the best way to describe it. Last winter, I didn't track anything. I didn't start tracking the weather until May of last year, which I kick myself for, but I didn't realize until May that it was one of those, oh, I should really have a written record of this somewhere so that I can track it. So it is an essential spread. It is a homesteading spread. Because I can compare the weather track with prior years so that I can get a more accurate idea on when the last frost is. At the time of recording both pieces of this, it's early March, and because this is a brand new notebook I'm moving into, I am not overly worried about any kind of frost risk. Even now, at the point I'm recording this is March 8th, but you guys aren't going to see it until like late March. So hopefully by the time you guys see this, I will actually have my bok choy, my tomatoes, and a few others sprouted and going. Last year, a lot of the things I tried to get sprouted, over half of them did not produce anything. And the few that I was really looking forward to, like the Armenian cucumbers, the sprouts got eaten by the mice. And as you can see, like if you don't mind only being able to use a few stickers every now and again from these sticker packs that I had found at Walmart, they actually work out really nicely. I think back when I bought these, it was 30 or 40 sheets of stickers per pack. Might be less than that, less than I'm remembering, because I've got both packs combined right here, and I've already used some of it in prior setups. But they were, when I bought them a year ago, about $2.50. So I think the last time I looked at the packs, they were up to about $4. But still, even if it's only like 15 sheets of stickers, you're still getting stickers that'll last you for a while for a fairly decent price, especially if you're a budget conscious person like I am and you're not getting any of the really shiny stuff from Archer and Olive for a while because you have promised that you're not going to buy any more notebooks until you are down to 1 or 2. 1 dot grid, 1 long form journaling. Now, here for April, I've mentioned in prior videos, this is the only notebook I'm using for the month of April. I am going to be doing my long form journaling in this 192 page notebook from the 2021 summer box from Archer and Olive. And this year I have the challenge to myself of journaling a full page a day, or if I just can't do a full page, I need to do at least 3 paragraphs. 3 paragraphs, if I remember correctly, back when I was in high school, was anywhere from 5 to 8 sentences. So a lot of times I'm just filling in, oh hey, we slept great, we woke up about yay time, we did thing X, Y, and Z over the day, and all that fun stuff. These are from a 6-pack of washi tape stickers that I had bought off of Amazon for like $6. So I bought 2 sets, which is why you might see a few repeats. But I'm just checking through these stickers real quick to see if I see any yellow stickers that I want to use, and the answer is no. As you can see, there is a washi tape page, and I kept it really simple for this setup. April is when things really start to ramp up here on the homestead a lot, between making sure that I have all of the plants covered, having the army of mouse traps out so that the mice aren't chewing up my plants, making sure that I have removed as many of the mice as possible in order to keep the rattlesnakes out of my yard, which is definitely going to be interesting trying to do this year because we've got a colony of gophers, I think, inside of the yard, and my husband has finally acquiesced to getting some gopher screamers, and the ones that don't work we're going to just replace with ones that do, because it's just gotten tedious trying to deal with these little brats. And we hear them from time to time chewing on something underneath the house, so getting rid of them is really important. Not to mention we've also got some window repairs we've got to do here soon. As you can see here, this is my video dashboard page. Now, the video dashboard page is pretty simple for April because for those of you who watch my channel frequently or infrequently, I just haven't been feeling like vlogging, which is why there probably wasn't that many vlogs in March by the time you're seeing this. Vlogging just got a little boring because we didn't really have a lot happening in late February and early March, and I spent much of January sick. So vlogging was just not a priority. I really, really like these pieces of washi tape from the page because they've got the very minor gold accent on it, and the blue is a very, very nice blue to complement it. And as you can see here, I just put 1 square in, and it's just like, if I do any kind of vlog breakdown, it'll be there. And here are the habit trackers. As always, my habits are broken into 5 categories, technically, if you count monthly and weekly. But the things that I keep track of in my habit tracker are broken down into self-care, the house, and the homestead. My self-care, I had fewer self-care things to take care of, to add in April, because I'm actually at a point now where my husband and I are actually eating regular meals, and I don't have to remind myself to eat, which was a really bad habit I had to break out of many years ago. And I do apologize for all the moving around there. I was trying to make it easier for me to straddle the tripod so that I was not giving myself a backache while trying to bend around it. Now for the house, the thing that I'm always keeping track of is dishes, dealing with trash. I've actually got it right here. I should really pick it up so I can talk about it and not forget something. Right. Okay, there we go. Dealing with dishes, trash, making sure that the litter box is cleaned every few days, tidying. My husband and I are very much those kind of people who will set something down, walk away, and our brain just goes dee, and we completely forget to go put it away. So I've got it as a goal in April that at least twice a week I'm spending time putting things away and tidying up. And then also making sure that the compost is watered. The third category, which is the homestead, is make sure the outside and the inside water bowls are refilled. Watering the garden. Hopefully in April we have chickens. I've written it down here as a gesture of faith and an attempt to manifest these chickens that we have been trying to get ready for far too long. And another task that gets written down in the homestead section is initials, IU, or I'm sorry, IY. IU? Why did I think? IY, which basically stands for improve yard. Underneath my self-care, for those of you who are probably curious about that, is my wake-up time, my vitamins, brushing my teeth, staying on top of my showers, and doing some kind of movement at some point. And then we've got weekly chores, which are things like meal planning, vacuuming, changing the sheets, and laundry. Monthly is dusting. Don't start. I know there's probably a few people who would probably argue with me about that, but when you live in the country, you don't have to dust as frequently as what you do in the city. If you live in the city, dusting should be a weekly thing. But thankfully it is not where we live now here at the homestead, unless I accidentally leave the wrong facing windows to a windstorm open. Then I have to dust a little bit more frequently. So we've also got wash the water bowl. Now the water bowls are kind of important to get washed because we are on a well, and because we are in the desert, our water has a pretty good concentration of minerals in it. So mineral scale does build up on the water bowl. So trying to make sure we keep that cleaned up is one of the monthly priorities, especially as we get into summertime and the evaporation rate on the bowls is higher, and the dogs and the cats are drinking more water, and the birds are glowering at me as I'm sipping my coffee from the window going, refill this. Washing the rugs becomes really important too come summertime because of the monsoon season. And the rugs are the first line of defense against the dogs bringing in dirt and goat heads. You can see here I'm testing what the Archer and Olive pins might look like on these stickers, and I completely forget about the Crayola Super Tips to the right of me over here, and it's just kind of like, I should have used those. Those would have done just fine, I think, on the paper, or pulled out the neon yellow gel pen I have. But as I've been working in like the craft paper journals and the white paper journals, I've been noticing that some colors just don't work on those papers. And I'm actually setting them aside for my blackout journal from the Halloween collection 2021 from Archer&Olive that I'm going to be moving into after this journal. And it's a 192 page journal too. So it'll be incredibly interesting to me to see when this journal is done. Obviously that's going to be contingent on if I decide in May to keep journaling in the same notebook, or if I just don't like that and I go back to splitting my pages into 2 days and my journaling is kept in a separate notebook. And as you can see here, working on the sleep tracker. I have found the sleep tracker to be a very good stat for me to track, because that a lot of times lets me know when a certain ovarian rebellion is on track and when it's getting ready to rear its head. And for those of you wondering why I don't have that in this journal, because I don't want to have to keep setting it up. So I have it actually in an annual journal along with the homestead budget and the bill tracker and all that. And I've got that in a little B6 size. It's going to fit 3 years of all that information for me. So having an annual journal, at least for the next 3 years, is going to stay on deck. On deck. I wonder if I married somebody who was a part of the United States military that was around the Navy a lot. He was not in the Navy, he was a Marine, but there are a few things that have rubbed off. Although I think I might have used that phrasing long before I met him. I don't remember. And like I said, I keep the decoration for everything very simple. I'm actually really, as I'm looking back at my April bullet journal setup, it's probably one of the simplest setups I have ever done that you're ever probably going to see on YouTube, outside of a few other people who are just like pen, paper, boom, done. And you know, I appreciate them and their channels. Watching the more simplistic bullet journal setups can be incredibly refreshing, especially if you've been finding yourself struggling with burnout because you've been doing so many themes and so much art. Now, if you're an aesthetic bullet journaler and doing that artwork is your downtime, that's your reward to yourself, doing what you want in your bullet journal artistically wise, there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And it always bugs me when people who are part of the minimalist side of bullet journaling are overcritical of what the aesthetic side of bullet journaling get into. And my response 99 times out of 100 is always going to be, are you using that person's bullet journal? No, you're using yours. Don't criticize what another person's bullet journal looks like, because you don't know what it is they are needing it for and why they need that bullet journal. They might tell you 1 or 2 public reasons, but a lot of bullet journalists have very personal reasons for bullet journaling and doing things the way that they do. And you guys will notice as time goes on here on the channel, especially this year, I am playing a lot. I am playing a lot in my journal to see if I really want to keep certain aspects that I have used in prior bullet journals. And I'm keeping a very close eye on what I find myself needing throughout the month. And you know, things like the weather tracker, things like my sleep tracker, things like my habit tracker here, which as you can see is not a bunch of little mini calendars. It's more I really don't know what to call that kind of tracker. I'm so sorry. Just The tasks are at the top, you've got your rows, and you've got your days along the side of the bottom. Whoop, here we go, bumping into it again. And really, it's really simple. Now here in a few months, I might try to do my calendar stamp again for the trackers, but I've really been finding myself greatly enjoying this style of tracker, and I just may not switch from this tracker ever again. It uses one page most of the time. And I say that way because come summertime and harvest season, I end up with a few more things underneath of the weekly and the house and the homestead that I have to do and include. Ah, yes, here we go. On to the last spread that I have to add. And this is my husband. This is Dave's list. My husband, Dave, is always asking me to write things down for him or to remember things for him. And it's just gotten to the point where I'll just write them down in my bullet journal. But sometimes I'll get past that page and past that day or past that week, and I'm going, oh crap, did I remind him to do thing X, Y, Z? Oh shoot, I didn't. And I'll go back, so I'm giving him his own page. He has his own page. That way, I don't forget. And here's my dailies and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there's my April bullet journal setup for you guys for 2023. I hope you guys enjoyed how simple this particular bullet journal ended up being. I hope you enjoyed a more talkative Evelyn this time. I don't normally talk this much, but I think a part of that is just because I usually don't know what to say. But it's just me. So there's all that. There's the additional pages in case I need to brain dump. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for sharing your time with me today. Thank you for checking out this bullet journal video, and I hope you decide to stick around by hitting subscribe and joining us here on the crew. Hug your loved ones tight. I will catch you guys in the next video upload. Whenever and whatever it ends up being. Take care. Bye.